Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bound by Flame. It has been a solid, week and a half, close to 2 weeks since I last recorded. I came down with a bad cold and wasn't able to record for quite some time. Lost my voice and everything. But we're back now. When we left off last time, we had wrapped up Act 1. We had left the city of Valvanor behind us after the Deadwalkers found and attacked it. I chose to ally myself with Prince Arundel and what's left of the Elvish army, and we headed toward Caraldthas. We've learned, of course, that Lord Blackfrost, one of the Ice Lords, attacked the city by freezing a river and dumping it on top. So we are headed into the city with Prince Arundel in our party as a companion. Let's talk to people. How did you get out of your coma in the village?
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Deadwalkers was waiting for me. Sometimes the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
Do you know Relmar well?
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
His cause was just.
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the Elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
Why did the Elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Deadwalkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kings.
We told them. We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could hold them. We underestimated them and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Caraldthas?
Are you from Caraldthas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Caraldthas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now.
I'll be going now.
Okay. Oh, a chest. Let's do that first. Tainted Bone Ranger's Helmet. That's the one I'm excited about. I got to reading a word and I read the wrong one. Ranger's Helmet. Weighs less, has the same physical defense, and adds poison resist. That's just an all-around win, where I come from. Recycle the Legionary's helmet. Alright, let's chat with Relmar.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Caraldthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You're no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people will be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
Alright, I'll take care of it.
Alright, I'll take care of it. Don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do.
Let's change the subject.
Subject.
I have a few
I
questions.
have a few questions I need to ask you.
This is not the ideal way to be coming back home. You okay?
I'm guessing this is not the way you'd always imagine coming back to your lands.
For years now I've been waiting for the day when I can go back to my city. But deep inside I've dreaded this moment. If I was ever coming back home, it could only mean one of two things. Either I'd been captured by my people, or I'd been forgiven because I was right. I would have preferred being captured. My city has fallen and I do not recognize it.
This is no time to give up.
This is no time to feel sorry for yourself. This war is not over yet, and your people need you now more than ever.
We have been swept away. There is no more army, no more supply base, and nothing left to fight for.
How long have you been harassing the Deadwalker army without getting caught by your people?
Nearly 7 years.
7 years of guerrilla warfare, and you're still here. You know exactly how Caraldthas is laid out. You are going to be essential in the days to come.
Perhaps. We shall see.
Let's change the subject.
I'll leave you here.
I'll leave you here.
Collect as many elf souls as possible. Recapture the Caraldthas watchtowers. Act 2, Battle in the Icy Grip. Chapter 1, The Dead City. And this is the Souls of the Elves. We want 20, apparently. Alright, well, let's talk to Sybil while we're here.
Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
I have other things I gotta do first. I have to accompany the prince, remember? But I will try to go with you so you can find your books later. Promise.
Find the library. The Icy Library. Alright.
Vulcan, I have to talk to
Anything else?
I saw you getting friendly with her. You should be more careful. She is not what she pretends to be.
I know she's not playing straight with us. She's got her little secrets, just like everyone else.
You don't understand. It's a lot more serious than little secrets. I found some very worrying information in one of the last books I read. 200 or 300 years ago, there were other groups of sages and magicians, like the Red Scribes. One of these orders was called the White Lords.
So you think that they were the ancestors of the Ice Lords or something? What does that have to do with Edwin?
I'm getting to that. The White Lords lived in the north of Vertia, out of the ice. We know little about them. For a long time it was believed they had disappeared. But in reality, they somehow and in one of the books that I consulted, I found an engraving of a woman, one of their leaders. It was the portrait of that witch.
It is suspicious. We'll have to check it out.
It is suspicious. We'll have to check it out.
Since you seem so close to her, try to find out more about her past. How old is she? Where was she born? I don't know. Just something, anything that might give her away.
I will have to be careful so she doesn't get wise to me.
Keep me informed, but believe me, I'm almost sure it is her.
I have some questions for you.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What do you want to know?
About this library and these books. Let's talk about something else. See you later.
See you later.
Alright. Well, let's talk to Valen before I forget and we leave.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
About our options for entering Caraldthas.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath.
It's
About the Deadwalkers' barricade on the road to Caraldthas.
Do the Deadwalkers still hold the main road?
still, and it's a problem. We won't be able to secure the perimeter for long with the undead nearby. And we won't be able to take Caraldthas with that road in enemy hands.
Right, I'll take care of the barricade.
I'll take care of those walking corpses before your men ever need to worry about them.
Thank you. That should give my men enough time to finish our mission.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Questions I'd like to ask you.
How did you survive the battle at Caraldthas?
How did you survive the Battle of Caraldthas?
I was lucky. When we got wind of the arrival of the Deadwalkers, our king sent me to reconnoiter. I was outside Caraldthas when they attacked. Over the days that followed, I tried to gather together as many survivors as I could. Alas, that was all I could do.
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Do you have any information about what's going on in the city?
Very little. I can only trust what the last soldiers who got out have said. Apparently, most of the Deadwalker troops have left, including Lord Blackfrost. He assigned one of his concubines to control the region, but I have no idea what kind of creature we're dealing with. That said, if the Ice Lords keep to their usual tactics, they'll clean up the last pockets of resistance and start transferring their prisoners.
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
Do you know if there's any other resistance in Vertiel?
The rare information I get these days is not good. Several human kingdoms have capitulated unconditionally. The Chiller has apparently laid waste to one of the major elf settlements in the east. We have no news of the others. There are probably pockets of resistance, but they are tiny and have no hope against the Deadwalkers.
One more reason to hold here. We are Vertiel's last hope.
What can you tell me about the prince?
What can you tell me about the prince?
I understand what you're asking. Is he up to it? The answer is yes. Since the start of this war, the prince has always been in the front line. He has demonstrated skill and courage, sometimes endangering his own life. He has, of course, taken some unnecessary risks, but the situation was different then. I think he'll be more cautious in the future.
I see. The young prince wanted to prove to his father that he was deserving of his affection.
He was merely seeking to protect his people.
Let's change the subject. I'll be going now.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. I'll be going now.
Defeat the Blockading Patrol. The blockade. Fair enough. Let's see. So we have a nice little loop here. This is still home base. Theobald, Silben, and Liestus. Let's go in order, I guess.
A good day to you, mercenary.
That's it, huh? Alright.
Do you have a moment?
Wanted to ask you a few things.
I wanted to ask you a few things.
What do you know about Caraldthas?
What do you know about Caraldthas?
It's a very ancient city, far more ancient than it appears. The elves are master preservers of architecture. They shrink from destroying, preferring to construct new strata on top. You can find traces of Caraldthas in works that are over 1,000 years old. Some buildings, like the royal palace, are of unequaled complexity. But the city also incorporates more primitive districts. And there must be underground areas as a result of all these piles.
What happened here?
What happened here?
As far as I understand it, the Elfin army was caught unaware by powerful magic that buried them under ice in an instant.
They didn't stand a chance.
And how could they? Such magic requires the presence of a very powerful sorcerer, someone on the order of an Ice Lord. They rarely take to the battlefield, but when they do, all hope is lost. Rumor here has it that it was the work of Blackfrost.
Who is this Blackfrost?
Who is this Blackfrost?
Don't tell me that you don't know the name.
Don't take me for an idiot. I know what he is, but that doesn't really help much, does it?
He's one of the seven. He's known for his craftiness, his guile. He prefers using magic rather than his arms. In the past, he used to be more discreet. But for 2 years now, he's been leading the Deadwalkers' assaults, and is regularly seen in the front lines.
What changed?
I don't know. The Ice Lord's alliance is a delicate balance. It is possible that this is the result of an internal power struggle. He has certain abilities that make him fit for the role. Blackfrost is without a doubt very effective. Just look at the destruction around us.
Let's change the subject.
Let's change the subject.
I'll be going now.
Later.
Alright, Silban, what up?
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Can I have a look at your stock?
Can I have a look at your stock?
He sells health and mana potions now. And some crafting gear as well. Alright, nice. Sentinel.
Mercenary.
How did you manage to make it through the battle?
How did you manage to make it through the battle?
Bit of luck, just like with everyone who survived. I pulled guard duty so many times in a row that I was sent on R&R. If you really want to know, I was in a steam room when the attack came, having a really hot bath. It was horrible. The deathly silence that fell on the city just like that. With just that awful cracking of ice. Anyway, I jumped into my uniform and ran like crazy until I found my commander. And now here I am. Nothing really heroic about it, I'm afraid.
What can you tell me about your commander?
What can you tell me about your commander?
I hardly know him. I wasn't in his unit. As far as I know, he wasn't that high up, but he's the highest ranking officer we have left. Anyway, I have to admit that he managed to bring us together, set up camp, and get a bit of cohesion going in us fugitives. That's not too bad.
How are things going in the camp?
How are things going in the camp?
Bah, we're short of everything and morale's not great, but we're together and alive. Most of us are really pissed off. In a way, you could say everything's fine, even if I heard that the survivors from the human army were kicking up a bit of a fuss.
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Climb down. Gold and 4 leather. Let's see. Oh, that's like a whole new zone. But it's not an actual load screen, so let's stick to here for now. Okay, got some goodies. Castianor.
Good day, even if the expression isn't necessarily appropriate. Can I help you?
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Can you tell me more about the battle?
Can you tell me more about the battle?
Battle? I don't really think you could call it that. We got wiped off the field. A defeat they'll be singing about in 1,000 years. If there's still anyone left to sing. Just when our troops were getting ready to take the Deadwalkers' assault, that monster Blackfrost appeared at their head. And in a flash, the Estelduin left its banks and came down on the city, then froze most of our troops under these huge blocks of ice. Not many survived, and our city, well, you could see for yourself.
How did you manage to survive?
I guess that's the advantage of being a smith. The fireplaces protected me, and I had the time to escape before the undead showed up. Without my equipment, unfortunately.
Do you know your prince well?
Do you know the prince personally?
I've done business with His Highness, yes, but I wouldn't say I really know him. I was honored enough to forge the first suit of armor the king gave him. But I guess you're not really interested in the past. I can tell you that he has bled up since the war started. Several times after he came back to Caraldthas, I've repaired his equipment, and from what I've seen, he must have been in the thick of things. I suppose he's our ruler now, as his father, the so reached the duel, is dead.
What can you tell me about the king?
What can you tell me about the king?
What do you want to know? He was lost in the battle, unfortunately. He was a great king, wise and cautious. Maybe too much so, if you can believe what's happening to us these days. I guess that despite everything, we should be grateful to him that we are the last to fall.
Where's the elf army?
Where's the elven army?
Army? What army? Our forces were decimated by the ice, and more died after that, killed by the undead or by despair. As for those who are still here, their equipment is battered, and I can't do a thing. What can an army hope to do like that?
Do you know Relmar?
Do you know Relmar?
Do I know him? He's a legend for us. His repute has grown since this war began. But to be honest, it wasn't always this way. He robbed so many convoys and carts, every craftsman and merchant hated him, including me. But how can we keep hating him now? In the end, he was right.
Let's change the subject.
Talk about something else.
Show me what you have to sell.
Show me what you have to sell.
Alas, not much. I'm missing so much equipment, but have a look. You might find something you like.
Alright. You got anything? Let's see, we got an axe called Claw, a hammer called Leviathan, a royal elven scimitar, no dagger, no crossbow, a tracker's breastplate, 15 base, plus 3 bonuses, royal guards gauntlets, 4 base, officer's greaves, 6 base. Alright, so I need to look at what I'm wearing. 15, 4, and 6 are the baselines. Alright, that is a better... That's a better cuirass, or breastplate, so we'll start with that.
Show me what you...
Alas.
Yeah, so much so I can't even wear it. Or afford it, I mean. Well, let's look at the others. It was 6 and 4, right? Three. So yeah, the other gauntlets are better.
Well, well, you again.
Show me what you...
Poison resist, orb of fire damage, ice resist, fire wave interruption, physical resist, orb of fire set on fire, dark magic resist. And then these were base 4, so yeah, the greaves are better too.
Well, you again.
Show me what you...
Can't afford them either. Oh. What could I sell? I don't think I'll bother selling. I'd rather keep and craft. Just seems wiser to me. Alright. That's where we started. Who's down here? Baldwin.
I have nothing to say to you, mercenary. You want to follow these gutless elves? That's your choice, not ours. Now leave us.
Alright, that'll be a side quest later. Can just about guarantee it. Oh, look, it's all our other people. Hawk, what's up?
I wish I could go out on a recon, but the captain says I have to stay here.
That's all Hawk has to say, huh? Alright. Renko.
Huh. If I knew how messed up everything was gonna be. You know what a pain in the ass it was hauling my cart here?
I bet. But we're lucky you followed us. We could do with a good smith.
Yeah, well, seeing what's left of the village, it's not like I had a choice. And with you around, business is better than ever. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Let's see what you have to sell.
Let me see what you've made this time.
Lioness, Fatality, Judgment, Reaper, Iron Grip, Dragon's Tear, Agony, Riders, Wyverns. Ooh. Those might be good. 10 base. Deception. So this is my weaponsmith. Alright. Let's talk to the captain.
What is it, Vulcan?
I wanted to ask you. The Blades who were in the city.
The Blades who were in the city. Do you think they made it?
I hope so. I really hope so. After all, they shouldn't have been taking part in the battle. With a bit of luck, they weren't in the front lines when the ice wave struck. Generally, the Ice Lords don't kill those they capture. They like to keep them close by. Let's hope that our lads are amongst them, and maybe we can free them.
What do you think of this situation?
What do you think of this situation?
The same as I always thought. That all of this fuss has made absolutely no difference. We are in the shite, and the only sensible thing to do is get the hell out of here as quick as possible.
You don't think we have any chance of winning?
How can you ask yourself that question? Standing in front of this devastation. Either you're blind or stupid. Good gods, a whole army was decimated in the blink of an eye.
Do you know Caraldthas?
Do you know Caraldthas?
I came here a long time ago, at the beginning of the war. We hoped at the time that the elves would help us. They were soon disavowed of that little fantasy. There they were, all safe and sound in their city, totally disinterested in taking any risk for any other races. I didn't stay long. When I learned that there was a battle brewing, and that the last of the human armies were gathering here, I sent a couple of our lads hoping to recruit some good men.
Let's change the subject. I have to go.
Alright, well, guess we can go ahead and talk to Edwin.
Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
Ask you a few
I
questions.
would like to ask you a few questions.
What can you tell me about the World Heart?
I always hear people talking about the World Heart. What exactly is it?
First, forget all the children's stories about a friendly force for good, or its mythical dimension. The world heart is very real. It is above all a source of power. It is from there that magic comes, as well as certain energies necessary for the proper functioning of our world. These energies can be captured and used. That is what magicians do. In their own way, each draws his power from the world heart.
The demon insists we must purify it. That mean anything to you?
It's a good bet it is referring indirectly to the Ice Lords. As you know, those magicians have access to immeasurable power. This power has an origin and a cost. They drew it from the world heart with a veracity that is truly limitless. Each of the Ice Lords' palaces has a portal linking it to the source. Imagine leeches sucking away endlessly on the energy which feeds them. To purify it, you'd have to rid the world heart of all those leeches.
So all we have to do is go to this place nobody knows and clean out the all-powerful magical parasites. Sounds like a plan to me.
Aren't you cold like that?
Aren't you cold like that?
Is that your polite way of suggesting I'm indecently dressed?
I was simply concerned about your health.
I was simply concerned about your health.
Oh, how touching. But after having spent nights on end, trapped in a cage in the middle of the swamps, I can assure you that catching a cold is not highest on the list of things I worry about.
We're going to try to take back the town. Any suggestions?
We're going to try to take back the town. Any suggestions?
Yes, of course. You'll need to locate a unicorn, a few leprechauns, and perhaps a fairy or two. They are your last, best hope for retaking the town.
So you're saying it's impossible?
You catch on quickly. The might of the entire elven army was swept away in a few minutes. The red scribes and freeborn blades are only a few dozen strong. Be realistic. Your allies are disintegrating. You'd be better off fleeing this place.
And then what? Wait for the war to be lost? Put off dying another month or two until the Deadwalker army finds us?
You could hide yourself and learn how to control your demon. I could help you and speed your progress.
No way. I'm not going to leave the others to die.
No way. I'm not going to leave the others to die.
This incomprehensible affection for lost causes is going to be the death of you one day. But you could learn a few things in combat, I suppose.
The way that Caraldthas was taken, have you ever seen that before?
What happened at Caraldthas? Have you ever seen that before?
Wait until your enemies have gathered and then take them by surprise using magic. The attack on this city bears the mark of Black Frost. To cast a spell capable of freezing a river, you'd have to be here in person. It's possible that he's still in the area. He could be your key to the world heart. Find him and eliminate him, and the door to your goal will open.
Thanks.
What up, Buffalo?
Hey, Buffalo. See, nobody's managed to kill you yet.
Not before I've seen you blown up by one of your toys.
I got questions. How's the company doing?
How's the company doing?
If you were to spend less time hanging around with your new friends, you'd know. It's not wine and roses. Already there weren't many of us, and now looks like our only hope of success in this goddamn war is lying over there, cold in my granny's tomb. We can't last too long in this situation. The captain has to decide to make a move.
I reckon the Deadwalker army will find us before we have the chance to desert.
Have you had time to discuss this with the human soldiers?
Have you had time to talk to the human soldiers?
Yes, but they didn't say much. I don't think they trust us, or the Red Scribes, or anyone for that matter. They were just as stupid as we were. They thought they were going to join up with a great army to be safe. As you can imagine, they're a little disappointed.
You think they'll stay?
I don't think they're in any mood to fight. Once they've seen to their wounded, they'll be out of here the first chance they get.
What do you think happened here?
What do you think happened here?
We are no more than fucking insects to those bastard Ice Lords. Just one of them was able to wipe out this city with magic. We have no choice if we follow the rules. We have to find another way. Maybe your little flame problem could be a solution.
For now, we know nothing.
Tell you what, if you save our asses, I'll buy a round of drinks every day for the rest of my life.
I knew I needed some kind of motivation. I'm going.
And Randval.
The Knight knows this region well. He came here once before while he was protecting a delegation from the Alliance on the way to visit with the King of the Elves. He would like to reconnoiter the area. Thinks he can find things that would be of great use to his friend.
Okay, but be careful.
If you think you can find something useful, go ahead. But remember, the position of the camp must stay secret. Try to come back in one piece.
Let Randval reconnoiter. Simple enough. Oh, Theobald. Theobald is a young red scribe who apparently loves old relics. Castianor. Castianor is an elfin blacksmith who worked in the royal forges before the terrible defeat at Caraldthas. He survived thanks to the smoldering heat of the forge, and joined the refugees led by High Commander Valen, who he gives some equipment to for better or worse. Randval the Loner. Alright. Seems simple enough. Gold and raw metal. Okay, so both these are gates back to the camp. That seems pretty straightforward, I think. Yes, those both go back to camp. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, not bad. Are we dealing with hostiles? It sure seems like we are. Which is fine. I'm just a little surprised that there wasn't a load screen. Gold! Goodies! Okay, nice. That double shield is interesting. Haven't seen that before. Not sure how to reliably deal with it either. Riposts are apparently the answer.
Thank you for your help, Wilson.
Guess that was an elf soul. Elven Stone of Souls. There's the second one. What up, duder?
The going's a bit steep, so be careful where you step.
The Icy Library, Upper Caraldthas. Guess it's not that easy. Ringer. Crossbow. Doubtless a better one. I can add physical damage, interruptibility. I'd add more physical damage. I can add crit chance. Let's see what's in here. Ice Duders. Let's try stealth moding the other way. That wasn't too bad. Goodies in the barrel. I always like that. We're just clearing the map, slowly but surely. Another one of those double shield bros. Damn. We've got a little bit of variable timing on their attacks. Makes things tough. Got him.
Thanks for the help, mercenary. We're going to keep watching this sector.
Look for a way to enter the city. Oh, it's a spewer. Great. There we go. I actually got away from one of their end explosions. That hasn't happened. There's a third elf soul.
If I were you, I wouldn't go near the main gate to the city. There are a lot of dead walkers over there.
That's 5 elf souls. Defeat the Blockading Patrol. Inform the commander of the elf army. There's a 6th elf soul. There's a 7th elf soul. Let's see. That continues west. An 8th elf soul. Ooh, new daggers. Serpent tongues. Let's see now. These had a base damage of 9. These only have 8. Big crit boost, big stealth boost. The big question is, I can take it to 10. And only 11. Yeah, that's a no. We're going to hold on to the cleaver daggers for now. What we will do is go back and resolve the blockade side quest. Yeah, look for a way to enter the city.
The Deadwalker Sentinels are no longer a problem for now.
It's a start, but the main door is still out of reach. But now we're free to approach the city and look for another way in.
Until the guard changes, or until they realize they haven't heard from them for a while and stronger patrols come down on us like a ton of bricks.
The die is cast. We have to go fast and be ready to fight to get our city back. If there is a way in, you can bet the Deadwalkers have secured it. Those abominations are everywhere.
Not necessarily. They're pretty careless when they don't have a general behind them telling them what to do. Victory will have softened them up a bit. As long as nobody raises the alarm, we should be able to count on that.
Let's hope so. And while we're on this subject, there's something else you can do for us.
Ask away.
The Deadwalkers still control the main road. One of the towers you took is near one of their barricades. When the undead notice they've lost contact with their sentinels, that tower will be the first on their list of places to visit, and it won't hold out for long. The soldiers I posted there will do their duty to the end, but if we could eliminate the barricade to gain as much time as possible, it would be a lot better for us.
Save your spick. Barricade's no longer a problem. It was in my way, too.
Really? Excellent. Now we can keep watch everywhere on the steps.
I'll be going now.
Inform the commander of the Elf army. Blockade is done, and I got the tracker's gloves. Let's have a look at them. So they were base 4. These are base 5 with poison resist. Boom! Achievement unlocked. And I don't throw things away. Recycle 30 objects. Beautiful. Okay. Alright. Off we go, back to it. Let's go check out that clearing. Seems like at the moment, I now essentially just have a bunch of little side areas to visit. Clear out this map. To be clear, I like things that way. Hello, assholes. How we doing? I'm here for another stealth kill. Stealth kills are my favorite. I got poisoned. Tried not to, but it happened. Oh, good. Don't suppose I can roll up on that one. Yes, I can. Beautiful. Alright, what's in this ice block? A sword. Protector. Cycle that. Right, we've been here. Let's go check up here. One little ice block with a few goodies. Nothing very spectacular. That's alright. What? Just thinking to myself, how did I get so turned around? That seems to be the answer. Oh no, I got poisoned. I got poisoned again. That's a hair bogus. Just a hair. Well, we got everything besides the spewer. We're at level 20. At level 20. Done with Ranger. Let me see now. I want to try and get the ability to set things on fire, but I don't see either of those. What about warrior? I don't care about heavy weapon damage. I don't care about assault charge time. I don't care about health regeneration in warrior stance, because I'm never in warrior stance. Alright. Well, I guess the thing to do is power up flaming weapon. So I'll do an extra 5 damage and an extra 5 seconds. Now if I go to feats, 2 points. Interested in intense, not really interested in finder. Not terribly interested in gunner. Master craftsman interests me. Apothecary interests me. I'll take apothecary, I guess. So I am burning through some potions. Alright. I'm quite sure the gates are where I need to go. So let's go explore the southwest corner. We're almost clear on this map, which is always nice. Alright. That's the way back. We got 9, 10, 11 elf souls.
We got a problem. Trying to force our way through would be a terrible error. We would alert the whole city.
We have to find another way.
Alright, big barricade there. So far, so normal. Oh, this one's not hostile. Not to me, anyway. What's this guy's deal?
Now I've seen everything. The Deadwalkers kicking each other's asses.
I beg your pardon?
What? This one talks. Who the hell are you, a lich? A zombie scribe?
We've only known one another a few seconds, and already you insult me. Charming, I must say.
If you aren't one of them, then what are you?
I am an immortal superior spirit. And you?
So you're an Ice Lord. I thought you'd be Tog or something.
I have absolutely no involvement with that bunch of cheapskate conjurers, and I would never humiliate myself by working for them, since that's what you seem to be suggesting.
Yeah? Rotting flesh sticking out bones? Sure as hell looked like a damn dead walker to me.
Tut tut. Did no one ever tell you not to judge a book by its cover? It's true that you're young, but use your wits. Would I be fighting my own troops if what you suggest were the truth?
All I can be sure of is that you're not really alive, and that makes you my enemy. And what's more, you're in my way.
Body will not survive more punishment. In all my 6,000 years, I have never witnessed such power. You seem to be as unique a being as I am. What is the source of your power? What are you?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just strong. That's how I roll.
How very intriguing. We absolutely must reveal the mystery of the origin of your power. So I'm definitely coming with you. At least for as long as it takes to find out what is really within your body. I suppose we could go back to beating each other up, though I suspect you'll get bored of it eventually. I did mention to you that I'm immortal, didn't I? So why don't we avoid such a futile waste of time and just try to get on? You'll start to like me in a while. Just you wait and see.
I can't have you tagging along with me right now. I have something to do in the city. Wait for me back at the camp. We'll talk about what we think you and I are later on.
Yes, I've seen where your camp is. Actually, it's quite surprising the Deadwalkers haven't noticed it yet. However, I suspect my unannounced arrival might pose a slight problem for your brothers in arms.
Yeah, I guess with your face, they might not welcome you with open arms. Just tell them I sent you. And try to behave.
Very well. Do you know your way into the city? There's a hidden entrance not far from here. I'll show you where it is on your map.
Well, thanks, bro. Enter Caraldthas. Oh yeah. New ally, Mathras. Mathras is a strange character. He looks like one of the living dead, and seems to have existed for an incredibly long time. He says he has lived for over 6,000 years. Even though it sounds crazy, his in-depth knowledge of history and past events tend to make it believable. You met him not far from Caraldthas, where he was fighting against Deadwalker units. When he saw what you could do, he was immediately curious and wanted to follow you. Cool. Alright. So the gates are the place to go, but I'm interested in jogging back to camp, seeing if the man has any dialogue. Oh yay, respawn, my favorite. Not. Yeah, I don't immediately have the patience to fight a lot of respawns. Mercenary and... oh, the voice isn't playing. Mercenary, it is well that you have returned. Oh.
He's a potential ally. Don't sweat it.
Oh, then you must pardon me, for in my fear I attacked him. I could not harm him, and he did not fight back. He simply talked to me. It was most strange.
Yeah, had the same effect on me. So where is he?
He is with the Red Scribes.
Perfect.
Nice. Alright. They're back here. What's up, Mathras?
Mathras, do you have a moment?
My dear, I have all of eternity.
Who are you exactly?
Who are you exactly?
I am Mathras, immortal and unique.
Right. So why aren't you out there hanging out with your Deadwalker friends?
First of all, I don't have any pals. I'm a little too old for that. Secondly, I find your implication that I am associated with them most unpleasant. I have nothing in common with those dead things. I've been around for over 6,000 years, and I'm still very much alive, thank you. I admit this body is looking a little worn.
6,000 years old. Hey, you don't look a day over 250.
You flatterer. I did, however, lose a toe this morning. Nonetheless, these Deadwalkers are simply corpses as they're animated by magic. Whereas I am an immortal spirit who changes bodies when they wear out. There's absolutely no similarity.
That's not so dumb.
That's not so dumb. It's what allows you to go on having an effect on the world, I guess.
Exactly. I give these bodies extra life that they would not have had if they'd stayed dead. Though, of course, these days, it's unlikely they would stay dead for very long.
I have some questions for you.
I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Why did you come to Caraldthas?
Why did you come to Caraldthas?
Why not? There's one thing you should know about eternity. It can be rather dull. So I do my very best to be in the right place at the right time. The place where it's the most fun.
Fun? You think this is fun?
Well, distracting then, if you prefer. What do you expect? I'm just so bored. The End of the World is a show I wouldn't want to miss.
What do you know about the Deadwalkers?
What do you know about the Deadwalkers?
Apart from the fact that they're an incongruous mass of corpses with appalling bad taste that are animated through the use of magic, nothing. I can tell you that the power necessary for their creation and to keep them working is far beyond the magical abilities of any of your contemporaries. And since it's obvious they are incapable of any decision-making or strategy, they are clearly being controlled from a distance. All of which suggests the Ice Lords who are controlling these things are rather powerful. Something, I grant you, quite difficult to believe when one saw them start out at the same pitiful level of incompetence as their brothers, the Red Scribes.
Have you ever seen a situation as desperate as this one?
In 6,000 years, have you ever seen a situation as desperate as this one?
Honestly? Well, no. You are, as you might put it, fucked. Or at least the mortals seem to be. But you carry something within you that may modify things somewhat. And it is this seemingly insignificant detail, this flap of a butterfly's wing, which may eventually change the apparently manifest destiny of the world as you know it. This demon, as you call it, has never before walked the earth. Neither he, neither it, nor any other of its kind. If they had, I would know of it, believe me. Consequently, and in spite of the evident futility of such a sentiment, there may be grounds for you to feel a slight glimmer of hope. That is, of course, if it is your desire to avert disaster.
Well, that's comforting.
What happened to the Elven King?
What happened to the Elven King?
I think he was simply lacking in strength of will and determination. They transformed him into an arch-lich. It's a particularly delicate and extremely dangerous magical process that could only be performed by an Ice Lord. It can only be performed on an elf, and then only one who is desperate to live.
How so?
Elves have many flaws, but most of them do have a very profound sense of duty. If an elf believes he is going to be tortured to make him reveal the secrets of his people, for example, he can literally will himself to die. It would seem that this king was desperate to continue living at any price, rather than dying with honor. That is what allowed them to turn him into an arch-lich.
Do you know who I am?
Do you have any idea about what I am becoming?
In all my long lives, I've never seen your like. Even the term demon seems to be designed to cause confusion. I have seen real demons when I lived as a war drum player amongst the dwarves.
Dwarves are just legend. You're yanking my chain.
It would be churlish to mock someone when it is so easy. Thus the dwarves did exist, and I was once one of them. They used to use these little creatures, barely the size of toddlers, in their enormous forges. They were little red creatures with tiny horns and a wicked air about them. You see, they were able to survive in the flames. The dwarves called them demons. You look a little like one of them, only much bigger. And you have an even more pronounced affinity with fire. I'm reserving judgment about the wicked attitude. I believe this affinity with flames is no coincidence. You are clearly a response, a weapon, and your purpose is to face the Ice Lords. It is entirely possible that you are the fruit of an attempt to balance the forces of nature. Alas, I have no idea which entity is behind all of this.
How's it going with Sybil?
How are things with Sybil?
What a charming young girl. Her hunger for knowledge reminds me of myself in a distant past, when I was young and still living in my first body. I imagine that if I still felt any physical desires, I would happily give her a good few hours of one-on-one experimental physical training. And it seems to me that she's rather more interested in getting your attention. At any rate, she is by far the most interesting red scribe I've met in the past 300 years, though I fear that may not be much of a compliment, given their legendary incompetence.
Let's change the subject. That's it for now. Alright. That's what I wanted to do. And this time I will fight the respawns. I just... wasn't in the mood to lose my lead, I suppose you might call it. I had a thread I was pursuing. And I found it really dumb that I couldn't just talk to him at the outset. But here we go. Fighting them's not a big deal. I don't know why I got so irritated on the last run, but... I guess I feel like I'm not gonna gain much from continuing to level up. Since I have all the skills I'm really gonna make active use of. But, then again, maybe that's my own failure of imagination. Let's try Speed Demon. And Flaming Weapon. That was quite the exchange. Don't you worry, Arundel. We're all good. Let's pick up all the loot. Let's head back to the gates again. I'm assuming this is actually going to be a new map, and that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Bound by Flame. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, I hope you'll give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in discussing this or any of my other content, the best place is my Discord server. There's a link to the Discord in the video description that I have set never to expire. Maybe not. That being said, Discord has a bad habit of expiring my links anyway. In the event that has happened, feel free to contact me directly, and I'll be very happy to send you an invite myself. If you care to support me or the channel, the best way, apart from liking and subscribing, is through my Patreon page. Patreon supporters get to nominate and or vote for the games they'd like to see completed on the channel. They also get early access to half of my videos. If you're interested in getting involved or learning the details, the link to the Patreon is also in the video description. But regardless, I really do want to thank you for watching. I am grateful for your time and attention. I appreciate you very much. I guess we've got a little bit of map left yet. That's fine. We'll check it out. There we go. A Ranger's Vest. Is that an upgrade? What was it? It was 20. So base is 13. It is an upgrade in terms of baseline. Wow. Plus 10. Let's do it. I can do trap damage. I can do max health. And let my Guardian Flames set things on fire. Let's do max health. Let's recycle the Legionary Cuirass. Let's wear my new Ranger Vest with all of its awesomeness. Just try and sneak up on these guys. That didn't work. I think that's everything. I haven't checked this way yet. Boom! A barrel. Alright, we got some goodies. Can I cast Speed Demon? That's what I want. Well, got poisoned again. Very specifically tried not to, and did. But it doesn't matter much. We bagged them, and here is the map transition. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.